go out into the parking lot, there's a green 4Runner that's getting a 4-speed Atlas installed into it.
All right, so this morning we're going to talk about dual transfer cases, crawl boxes, that kind of stuff. I know a lot of you guys have bought our WFO Solid Axle Kit for your Tacoma, and this is Bailey's 97 4Runner, and it is a supercharged V6, automatic, has 538 gears, has a WFO Solid Axle Kit with the Super Duty axle and 40-inch tires. Bailey's had this vehicle done for a couple years, and we are out in California. It's West Coast stuff, so we go crawling. She's had it through Fordyce, through the Rubicon multiple times, a lot of rock crawling, and still with the stock transfer case and stock automatic transmission. So it does go to prove that you can do nothing with your cases, no dual cases, just get the axles in, get it built, get lockers, and go out and have fun with it. However, with the automatic, you are slipping the torque converter a little bit, you're 2-footing it, gas brake all the time, kind of lurching up stuff, so it doesn't give you that finesse to really enjoy the rock crawling that we have out here, the slow speed stuff. Quick side note, if you have a manual transmission in your Toyota with a solid axle swap, there's no way that it's going to be comfortable to go to the Rubicon and go to Fordyce. So you got to exercise this option right away. So solid axle done, been driving a couple years, time to address going slow on the trail, what we do out here. There's lots of options. There's a Northwest Fab crawl box, keeping your stock case. Marlin has dual cases. You can switch gear-driven Toyota cases in here. For this build, with the supercharger, with the extra weight of the 4Runner, we decided to go past all of the Toyota options and go right to an Atlas 4-speed. So we'll kind of walk you through what we did to fit the Atlas, how it worked with our solid axle kit, with the cross member, and what you end up with when you're done. So here you go, a little walkthrough on Atlas 4-speed in a 97 4Runner.
Some of our longer-term viewers might recognize this rig. This is Bailey's 4Runner we built about a year ago. And she talked earlier about wanting to go with lower cases, and that decision for her ended up being a 4-speed Atlas, which is quite the challenge to fit in one of these Toyotas because they're a smaller vehicle and that's a larger transfer case. So I'm going to be under here beating the crap out of the floor with a hammer. That's the technical term for this. These transfer case, so the stock transfer case in a Toyota is a 2.28 to 1 when you put it in low range, which is fine if you got a stock old Toyota, you're going down dirt roads or whatever. This is a 3.8 to 1 in the rear case, which just allows you to go slower, have more control. You get more torque out of the engine because it is a little Toyota V6. They don't make a whole lot of power even with the supercharger. Just gives you more control on the trail. It's a lot stronger. You're not going to be breaking inputs or outputs on a factory case. You're not going to be worried about actuator motors or gears or planetaries, anything like that, because these Atlas cases are bulletproof. Everything in them is pretty much billet, chromoly, forged. Just they go balls to the walls when they build these, and they're a super high quality product. So it's just upgrading a weak link and adding a little more control. So like if you're doing an Atlas in a TJ, LJ, CJ, Jeeps, basically, it's a lot simpler because usually we use a linkage shifter. So it basically mounts on the case and pops up through the floor. And with a 4-speed, no matter what, you do have cables for the front case. Since this is such a unique application for this, I mean, for us anyways, we're using cable shifters, which don't mount to the case, they mount onto a cable, as the name suggests. So I have been busy just making little brackets in here, trying to fit all those cables through a very small hole that's meant for one linkage style shifter. And yeah, so I just got to make a little shift tower for the front and rear high-low sticks, and try to button up the interior around it, and we'll be pretty much done with the mechanical side of this Atlas install in the 4Runner.
So I'm doing the initial test drive in Bailey's 97 4Runner. And this is the test drive just to see how the Atlas 4-speed transfer case install went on hers. We like to drive them, shift them through all the gears, make sure it shifts okay, it's not making any noises, or the sticks aren't interfering with anything. So this is a 4-speed, so there's not just 2 shifters, there's 3. So to start with, I'm in 2 high right now. So this is the rear axle, this is the front axle. You see the letters. When you got cable shifters on it, high range is forward and the front's in neutral. So that's 2 high. So the rear's in high range, front's in neutral, and then this is the crawl box. Atlas 4-speed is just like doing dual cases in Toyota, crawl box in front, regular transfer case in the back. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of come to a stop, click the automatic in neutral, really fast, shift the Atlas 4-speed into low, back into drive. So now that is the 2.72 to 1 crawl ratio, which is very similar to the 4 low that came factory in this 4Runner. So that seemed to shift fine. Now we are still in 2-wheel drive rear high in the transfer case. So now if we want the front in 4-wheel drive, I basically tap the gas a little bit and then click the front end. So there we go. The front is in high range. So we're locked in 4 high, but we're really the same low range as it was before because the crawl back box is in low. So that's 2.7 ratio, 4 high, maybe a good dirt road, logging road, 4-wheel drive, and very similar to stock. So the next thing we want to know is what happens when we go to low. So we'll go back to neutral. I'll go ahead and take the front out. And then we'll go rear and neutral. And then you got to kind of work these in. So there goes the rear into low, and the front won't go yet. So I like to put it in drive a little. If you gas it and let off, it clicks right in. It just kind of puts that slop into the transfer case. So right now we are in low in the Atlas and low in the crawl box. So this is 2.7 to 1 and this is 3.8 to 1. So it's a little bit over 10 to 1 in low. The car comes, so I'll pull off, but I mean, you give this thing gas and it doesn't even go. I'm already up into 3rd or 4th gear right here. One of the issues is when you're in low, it's really going to push against the brakes. Now this has Super Duty axles, 4-wheel discs, so the brakes hold pretty good on this thing, but it really does load it up. So that's low right there. I mean, you get out of this thing and I mean, drop something. That's the cover, but low, even automatic. I mean, it's the slowest walk possible, just crawling in that 10 to 1. In fact, I can go get that little piece of plastic that fell out. See, I walked back there, I got it. It's the little cover for her seats right here. I have no idea how that goes on. There it is, right back on. So it popped off again. What the hell? Move it over. Put it there. Big guy getting in a little Toyota, that's the issue. So 10 to 1 with the automatic, pretty cool. So now you could go neutral, pop that into high, go back to drive. So now you have 3.8 low range. So the reason they call it a 4-speed is you have 1 to 1, 2.7, 3.8, and 10 to 1. Whereas with dual Toyota cases, you would have to do a 4.7 rear to make that happen. So now, right now, we are in 3.8 4 low. Then we want to go back to neutral. Always take the front out first. Rear into neutral, rear into high, back into drive, we're in 2 high. So we put the crawl box up front so that with your leg in the way and 2 sticks here, you didn't smack into it. The give and take is the sticks took the entire cup holder. So nothing's ever perfect, right? But we put the crawl box up front and the twin sticks right here in the drink holder because it just fit and had the best option of a boot. As you can see, we had a custom boot made to match the factory boot instead of the Atlas ones, fills up the entire hole. That's one of the little details that Andrew did that really sets this, you know, above some of the other installs. And it's up to her to decide, does she want to keep these sticks really tall, or do you want to shorten them later on so that you can reach the shifter easier? I'd rather have them tall because they're easier to shift. So you'll be shifting these quite a bit. It's nice to be able to shift them, you know, right here with your elbow on the center console. So we'll see what she thinks, but it is really ergonomically pretty good inside here. Sticks on the inside, that came out nice. But as far as the underneath, let's show you what we got going. Kind of hard to see. Our solid axle cross member, skid plate that was already existing going from our cross member to the original back here. And as far as the mods we had to make, very few mods. On our cross member, there's usually 2 bolts on the back here and 2 on the front. And if you loop around underneath there and take a look, we basically had to remove one of the ears on the driver's side to clear the drive shaft. And that's it. No notching of the cross member, nothing else. The only other things we had to do is we lengthened the front drive line and we shortened the rear drive line. Still kept Toyota flanges on the Atlas. And you got to remember that doing an Atlas 4-speed over Toyota cases, it's basically the best of everything because the front output is 32 spline, the rear output is 32 spline, the transfer case is gear driven. The planetary is basically the planetary that's in every new process GM, Ford, and Dodge big truck. So F-350s, Dodge 3500s, Chevy 3500s, way strong planetary, stronger than factory Toyota gears. So the Atlas 4-speed is the best of everything. If there was one thing that I could say it would be a little bit better, and this really sounds weird, is I do wish the 4-speed, the planetary box was a little longer. It would be nice to get the transfer case back to get a little better front driveline angle, but the benefit is we didn't really have to modify our WFO cross member to fit the Atlas 4-speed in. So all in all, pretty seamless fit. All the time was taken in the mounting of the sticks inside the vehicle. The actual transfer case going in and out, very quick. It's always on the final details. Like I always say, the last 10% is 90%. So the fit and finish, on point, Andrew. All right, so we're looking at our cross member right here. And as you can see on the back, there's 2 ears. On the front right here, there was another ear and another bolt right here. All we did was trim that ear off. Now you can tell that in this front driveline, the slip is up top. So that's the reason why this works. This is the factory driveline that was in the truck when we built it. Factory U-joints still, everything. It happens to fit with our solid axle kit. So we just flip the driveline around, have the slip up top so there's clearance right here. Lengthened it a little bit and then shortened the rear a little bit, and we're in the money. Skid plate still fits everything. So really clean install underneath here.